This year, I went to my mother-in-law Tuong LA's house to visit. She gave me a red envelope containing a bundle of hell money. My boyfriend secretly told his mother that her period was 2 months late, and she was 80% pregnant. She immediately became proud and made her conditions more generous. She was pregnant with her own child, so there was no need for a gift. But the wedding must be double. Without 500,000 yuan, this kind of trash is not worthy to step foot in our house. I nodded and smiled. Okay, whatever you say, I will listen. 3 months later, their whole family knelt before me, crying and begging me to spare them a way to live. Tran Vi and I had known each other for 2 years when he seriously proposed. Right after Tet, my mother discussed with me. Tu knew, since you have agreed to marry Tran Vi, you should go to his house to wish him a happy new year on the first day of Tet. Although we have been in love for 2 years, I have never been to his house. On the first day of Tet, I brought a bunch of fruits, carefully prepared to meet Tuong Lai's mother-in-law. Tran Vi's house in the countryside was a 3-family house with a large yard. As soon as I entered, I saw the house full of people, about 7 to 8 people. Tran Vi introduced each person to me. This is his aunt, this is his maternal elder sister, this is his second uncle, and this is his nephew. At that moment, a plump, gray-haired old lady stepped in front of me. Oh my, what a pretty girl. You are too new, right? This is your first time visiting my house. I don't have much, so please accept this red envelope. While I was still confused, Tran Vi lightly bled. Tu knew, this is your mother. If your mother gives you a lucky money, then just accept it. She will be your mother in the future. I looked down, the envelope in her hand was as heavy as a brick. The relatives around also chimed in. Oh my God, Tran Hao's sister-in-law is so generous. She really doesn't hold back when it comes to her daughter-in-law Tuong Lai. That's right. Little sister, Tran Vi is the only university student in our village. I say you are very lucky, but for some reason, even though everyone said nice things, I felt something was strange. The tone was full of hidden meaning. I shyly accepted the envelope. Anyway, the last time Tran Vi came to my house, my mother also gave him a big envelope. Inside was 10,001 dong. As soon as I held the envelope, Tran Vi smiled happily. Tu knew, my mother gave you 10,001 dong, which means choose 1 out of 10,000. Wait until you get home to open it. This is my mother's recognition of my daughter-in-law, Tuong Lai. Hearing that, although I smiled on the outside, I felt somewhat uncomfortable inside. But hearing him say that, it was as if I had just gotten a huge bargain. But as soon as I held the red envelope, I immediately felt something was wrong. I work in a bank and deal with cash every day, so it felt very fast. The red envelope that Tran Vi's mother gave me was very large, but the width and thickness did not feel like real money. It was just my first time coming to the house, so I didn't want to think too much. Consider it as officially accepting to enter the Tran family's house. Tran Vi invited me to sit on the warm bed. Immediately, his relatives, uncles, aunts, and cousins all gathered around him. One person said something, another said something. Everyone praised Tran Vi as if he was pure gold, a rare treasure. He complimented me to the point that I felt like I was being blessed by knowing him. Suddenly, I looked up and found that Tran Vi had disappeared. In the small room there was only me and all the strangers. I started to feel extremely suffocated and awkward. I stood up and asked with a small smile. Oh, can I ask where the restroom is? Tran Vi's aunt burst out laughing. Oh my God, you even called it a restroom? The city girl really knows how to show off. Isn't it just a toilet? Go out the door and turn left. That's where it is, at the end of the vegetable garden. After hearing that, I stood up and hurriedly ran out. It was my first time coming to Tran Vi's house. I didn't know anyone, and I didn't know my way around the village. I turned left out the door and sure enough, I saw a small garden. At that moment, I saw Tran Vi and his mother sitting in the garden pulling onions. I was about to go over and complain about the first time I came to meet his family, but he didn't bother to mention that I had a lot of relatives coming, making me unable to carry them. Unexpectedly, I had only taken a few steps when I heard Tran Vi whispering to his mother. Mom, lately everything seems to be 2 months late. 8 to 9 times out of 10 it's going to happen. This time it's really a great trick. Mom, the way you talk really works. Punched a few holes in the condom and there they were. I felt like I was being punched in the face. Tran Vi, did he intentionally puncture the condom? I stood there, my heart pounding. Actually, I was already 2 months late. But since the bank was in the middle of its evaluation period, I was so busy with work that I didn't pay any attention to it. Could it be that I'm really pregnant? While I was still in a daze, Tranvi's mother suddenly chuckled. Being pregnant would be great. If she really was a descendant of the Tran family, then our family wouldn't need to send any gifts. Moreover, his house in the city has 2 apartments. When you get married, tell him to transfer one to your mother's name and one to your younger brother's. And about the dowry. At first I planned to force her family to give me 200,000. Now that I'm pregnant, it's easy to force her. If I told her 500,000, her family would obediently give me 500,000. Hearing this, my heart ached as if someone was squeezing it. Tranvi and I were colleagues working in the same bank. 2 years ago, when he first started working, my boss assigned me to guide and train him. From then on, Tranvi began to pursue me very enthusiastically. I knew Tranvi came from the countryside, and I also knew he had a younger brother. My parents were urban intellectuals, but my family never paid attention to family background. Since I was little, my parents always taught me that when choosing a boyfriend, I just need to choose someone with good character, and who is sincere to me. That's why I chose Tranvi. He studies well, and although he dresses simply, he is always neat and clean. More importantly, he treated me very gently and tenderly, almost as if he would go along with whatever I said. I chose to be with him because of that sincerity, but I really didn't expect his mother to be so calculating. However, I still had a little bit of luck in my heart, thinking that Tranvi would definitely stand by my side. After all, it had been 2 years of love. He had always taken care of me. His eyes were always full of love for me. But at that moment, Tranvi leisurely said while pulling onions, "Of course, Mom, I've been patient for 2 years, and finally the day has come to wait for you. But I have to wait a few more months, Mom. Wait until the fetus in her belly is stable, then we can talk about the gift and the house. Later, after the wedding, I will bring our whole family to the city to live." Before courting, I did some research and heard that her family has more than 5 million in savings. After that, my family will be a family with 5 million. After hearing those words, I trembled. I couldn't believe it. We've known each other for 2 years, but I didn't realize that Tranvi was a real scumbag. Luckily, I found out in time. I swallowed all my grievances and quietly and timidly left the vegetable garden. Just as I reached the gate, I suddenly remembered that the red envelope was still in my pocket. People like Tranvi must definitely be broken up with, so I should return this red envelope. As for the money my parents had given to Tranvi, of course I had to ask for it back. As soon as I thought about it, I opened the envelope. But what was inside made my blood boil again. Inside was a stack of hell money. Each bill had a unique picture printed on it. No wonder it felt so strange to hold, much thicker than real 10,000 yuan. No wonder Tranvi kept insisting, "Open it when you get home." Turns out he was afraid I would discover this bastard right there. A house full of dirty, shameless, and reckless people makes me sick. If they have no conscience, then don't blame me and don't bother saving face for them. I calmly stuffed the red envelope back into my pocket and returned to the room. Inside, Tranvi's relatives were still sitting on the warm bed, peeling melon seeds and chatting. Tranvi's little nephew was holding a toy water gun, running around the room splashing water. As soon as I entered, Tranvi's cousin spoke up in a sarcastic tone. "Oh, how rich, so petty." On the first day of Tet, she didn't know anything. She didn't even prepare a lucky money gift for her son. That kid was about 7 or 8 years old with a big round head like a basket and a dark and fat body. He ran to stand in front of me, said goodbye, and said in a very rude voice, "Give me the lucky money." My mother said, "Since you are from the city, you should give me at least 1,000 dong. Hurry up." New Year's Eve, this kid didn't say a word, just opened his mouth to ask for money. I slightly curved my lips and smiled. Oh my God, my nephew is so cute. It was Tet and she was Uncle Tranvi's fiancé, and his nephew was her nephew. Of course she had to give him a lucky money envelope. As I spoke, I took out the red envelope that Tranvi's mother had given me earlier and placed it in the boy's hand. "Here, inside are 10,001 disciples. Just call me beautiful and I will give it to you, okay?" The kid heard that, without saying a single kind word. He snatched the envelope from my hand. "Humph, give it here, give it to me quickly." He stopped crying and ran to his mother, waving his hand. "Mom, I have money. It's all mine." the boy said as he happily opened the red envelope. Immediately after, a thick stack of hell money appeared in front of everyone. Tranvi's cousin was so angry that her face turned red. She stood up and pointed at my face and cursed. You gave my son hell money? What are you pretending to be from the city for? Are you that immoral? I immediately felt wronged, tears welling up in the corners of my eyes. Oh, how could that be? How could it be hell money? Everyone saw it. I haven't opened it since I received it. How could I have known that this was inside? As soon as I finished speaking, the entire room exploded. Tranvi's aunt immediately interjected. Oh my God, I knew it. That Lie Thursday Hoa lady is famous for being lazy. He said he would give a big red envelope to his future daughter-in-law, but it turned out he was just pretending in front of us. Tranvi's second uncle also added, I'm so sorry. What a lack of morality. Giving people money from the underworld during Tet is so inhumane. I couldn't stay still, tears welled up like pear blossoms in spring rain. The relatives kept scolding and cursing, almost dragging out the 18 generations of Lie Thursday Hoa's ancestors. At that moment, Tranvi and his mother finished pulling onions from the backyard and returned. As soon as they entered the house, the mother and son were immediately surrounded by a crowd of people. Tranvi's cousin was the first to speak. Aunt Thursday Hoa, what does that envelope mean? Who are you trying to curse by giving lucky money to the underworld during Tet? If something happens to my son Tung, don't even think about being with me. Lie Thursday Hoa was scolded until she was frozen, unable to react. When she saw the little boy holding the red envelope in his hand, her eyes immediately filled with malicious intent as she looked at me. Then she winked at Tranvi. Tranvi understood immediately, pulled me aside and whispered a question. Tu knew what's going on. Your mother gave that envelope to me, why did it end up in Tung's hands? I pretended to look at him in surprise. What's wrong? Did my future mother-in-law intentionally give me money from the underworld? If so, she should have told me in advance. I just thought Tung was cute and wanted to give him money for Tet. So I thought I can give this bag to my nephew. Before I could finish my sentence, Tranvi's face turned pale. He immediately turned to ask his mother, Mom, what the hell is going on? Why is there hell money in the envelope? Did you take the wrong red envelope that was prepared for tomorrow's visit to Grandpa? You're really cunning, just one sentence and you've already passed the blame to someone else. Lie Thursday Hoa also hurriedly nodded. Yes, that's right, Mom took the wrong one. Mom prepared that bag to bring to your grandfather's grave tomorrow to burn incense. Damn, I just miss Mom so much these days. Yesterday I was going to go to the bank to withdraw money but forgot. Mother is really old, she has lost her mind. As she spoke, she walked towards me and took my hand with great care. Xiao Ru, it is all your fault. You really forgot to withdraw the money. Well, consider it as you owe me this red envelope. Since we are family in the future, I will make it up to you, okay? At this moment, I just smiled calmly. Oh, uncle, it's a small matter. Tranvi and I are about to become a family, money is nothing. As soon as I finished speaking, a wave of nausea suddenly rose in my throat. I couldn't help but put my hand on my stomach and gagged a few times. Oh my God, was I really pregnant? I started to feel uneasy. The next day, Tranvi gently supported me. Xiaoru, are you feeling unwell lately? Do you need to go to the hospital for a checkup? I said, I'll probably wait until the hospital reopens in a few days. Lately, you've been feeling nauseous and uncomfortable. I hope it's not something serious. Otherwise, I will despise you again. Tranvi's eyes showed a hint of joy, but he still appeared calm on the outside. Don't worry, no matter what illness you have, you will always be the one I love the most. That day, the Tran family had more than a dozen people to eat, but there were only 4 dishes on the tray. The whole table was all green. I looked at it and was bored, so I didn't want to eat. I picked up a few chopsticks and then found an excuse to leave early. As soon as I left the Tran family's house, the first thing I did was go to the maternity hospital to register for a checkup. After a series of tests, fortunately I was not pregnant. It was just that because of the great pressure of work combined with irregular eating, I had chronic gastritis. The delayed period was also due to prolonged stress. Holding the health examination results in my hand, I breathed a sigh of relief. When I got home, my mother was already waiting for me, anxiously asking, Xiaoru, how was the visit to Chun Wei's house today? How are your future in-laws treating you? I briefly told her everything, and as soon as my mother heard it, she flew into a rage. The Tran family is really too harsh. They put money in the red envelopes and even tried to play dirty tricks on our family to steal our house. No, I can't let my daughter suffer like this. Like, come on, I have to go see that old woman. Right then I just smiled. Mom, evil begets evil. You are lucky to see their true colors before marriage. However, if they dare to play tricks on you, I will not let them off. I have always been vengeful, and whoever plays dirty with me will definitely pay back. Especially for a scum like Tran Vi, even if he is released into society, I still have to warn the ladies to be on guard. At that moment, I suddenly remembered my best friend. My high school classmate Truong So, who just graduated from university, also lives in the same city. She had just gotten married half a year ago, and a few days ago she had called to say she was pregnant. Thinking of that, I immediately took out my phone and called her. Susu, can you do me a favor? I need your pregnancy test results, and also send me a pregnancy test with a red line. There was no need for long talks between close sisters, just handle it and it was done. Less than a minute later, Truong So sent me the ultrasound results and the pregnancy test. I lightly edited the photos on my phone and sent them straight to Tran Vi. As soon as I sent the message, my phone rang and it was Tran Vi calling back. Hello, honey, are you really pregnant? Tran Vi's voice was full of excitement, unable to hide her joy. I tried to act shy, my voice weak. Yeah, I'm so unlucky, I clearly used protection. How did I still get pregnant? No wonder I haven't been feeling well for the past few months, and I haven't had my period either. Honey, what should I do now? Tran Vi pretended to be calm. Chinu, to be honest, my family is quite traditional, a bit conservative. But don't worry, I will definitely be responsible for you. How about this, now that you are pregnant, the wedding must be put into planning quickly. When your parents are free, let's meet and discuss the wedding, okay? In that case, of course I can't disappoint him. Tran Vi and I made an appointment for the two families to meet in 3 days. In the blink of an eye, the appointment day arrived. The first time the two families met, the Tran family chose a small dumpling shop at the entrance of the village as the venue. I arrived first with my parents. My best friend Truong So also came with me. So married a rich young master. Now she has become a noble wife, living like a princess. But her family already had good conditions. She and her husband were childhood sweethearts, and both families were close friends. Susu was 3 months pregnant, wearing an elegant silk dress, looking very radiant as she ran towards me. She winked at me. Don't worry, honey, everything is ready. Come on, let's go inside. That bully, today I will definitely help you get justice. We walked into the dumpling shop together. As a result, it took more than half an hour for Tran Vi's family to show up. Tran Vi, his parents and younger brother, also 4 people, aggressively dragged each other into the private room. As soon as they sat down, Lai Thursday Hoa stopped hanging around. Tunu, did you hear from your son that I'm pregnant? I nodded gently. Yes, that's right. I just found out about 3 months. Lai Thursday Hoa heard that and smiled half-heartedly, her tone full of sarcasm. Oh, Tunu, that's not right. My family is very rich. Vi is the first university student in the whole village, very precious, precious as gold. At first, I was quite satisfied with my city girl, although she was a bit short, but she was considered a good match for my son. But why can't a girl keep herself? Going to a wedding with a pregnant belly is so embarrassing. In the past, if I met someone like you, I would 1000% not let you step foot in the door. Before Lai Thursday Hoa could finish speaking, Vi hurriedly intervened to mediate. Mom, this can't be blamed on Xiaoru, it's my fault. I truly love her. I hope you agree to let us be together. In this life, I will only marry Xiaoru. These mother and daughter really act well. One plays the bad guy, the other plays the good guy. They work together so well it's like they're performing a duet. Li Qiuhua's words were so unpleasant that my parents were so angry that their lips trembled. If the two of you hadn't known that this was my plan, my father might have had a heart attack on the spot out of anger. Right after that, Lai Thursday Hoa remembered what you said. Well, if my son Vi only loves you, then I can't accept this marriage. However, when discussing marriage, the marriage conditions of both sides must also be clearly discussed. Hearing that, my mother took a sip of tea and replied with a faint smile. It was only natural, since the two of them wanted to get married, they would need to have a dowry and a house. It's better to calculate gradually. Our family doesn't put much emphasis on the bride price, and doesn't ask for a high dowry. I think your family only needs to give 30,000 yuan as a symbol. Before my mother could finish her sentence, Tran Vai's younger brother contemptuously spat a mouthful of saliva onto the floor. Because what kind of month would they dare to ask for 30,000? Piece of trash still wants a gift. Lai Thursday Hoa laughed loudly. Her laughter was so shrill it made one shiver. Then she slowly spoke. Oh my Fuang, I heard that your parents are city intellectuals. And city intellectuals also count. Selling a daughter. What era is this and still demanding a gift? By the way, demanding a high gift is illegal. Don't think that country folk like us don't know the law. The monk pretended to be gentle and replied in a soft voice. You misunderstood. My family just follows tradition. To be honest, if we were to sell our daughter, 30,000 is not the price. Moreover, our family has also prepared a full dowry. As soon as she heard the word dowry, Lai Thursday Hoa immediately put down her teacup on the table and started to speak sarcastically. That's right, today's meeting is mainly to discuss dowry. The current situation is like this: your son Tran Vai is a phoenix among chickens. The only thing missing is a house in the city. But I heard that your family has 2 apartments on the street, right? Then it's simple. After getting married, the small one will be for the 2 of you as your honeymoon home. As for the big one, transfer it to my younger brother's name so that my whole family can move there. That way it will be easier to take care of the 2 of you. As soon as he heard her words, Truong So instinctively cursed. Holy shit, are you guys planning to steal everything? Tran Vai marrying Fuang Nu has nothing to do with his younger brother. What do you mean by transferring the big house to his younger brother? In the end, is Fuang Nu marrying a husband or both Tran brothers? Lai Thursday Hoa heard that, her face darkened, almost angry. Who are you to butt in here? Fuang Nu, didn't you say you were an only child? Or are you hiding something from your biological mother? Truong So remembered you, crossed her arms and coldly replied. I'm Fuang Nu's cousin, so what? Damn old lady, I advise you to stop being greedy. Lai Thursday Hoa's face turned red like a tomato when she heard that, but she still pretended not to say anything. Humph, even if we are relatives, we have no right to speak here. I'll say it straight. I don't like this girl at all. A daughter who is pregnant before marriage is truly a woman who doesn't know how to protect herself, and is not worthy of being my daughter-in-law. If you want to marry Tran Vai, not only do you have to buy 2 houses, but you also have to pay at least 500,000 in dowry. If you don't have that, don't even dream of stepping foot into the Tran family's door. What she said was enough to humiliate people to the core. At this time, Tran Vai's younger brother, Tran Ban, was also married and blocked the way. Haha, future sister-in-law, I think your cousin is quite pretty. I wonder if she is still single? If I don't have enough dowry to marry your brother, then why don't we marry her again so that you and her can become a couple, to make the family happy? After saying that, that guy's eyes started to dart back and forth, full of lust, looking at Truong So from head to toe as if he was stripping her clothes with his eyes. I felt a surge of love and extreme anger in my heart. After all, Truong So is a rich young lady, beautiful and rich, and my best friend. But this Tran Bin guy, only 23 years old, less than 1m7 tall, weighs nearly 100 kilograms, has a face full of acne, and a few pustules on the corner of his mouth. Just looking at him makes me want to vomit. And he still dares to have intentions towards Truong So. Hearing this, Truong So was so angry that she almost kicked the table and flipped the tray. I gently held her hand, almost knocking her over. Then I smiled sweetly, lowered my head shyly, and placed my hand on my stomach. Yes, everything. I will listen to your arrangement. I truly love Tran Vai. Tran Vai is really handsome, I can't deny that. I'm the only child in the family, so my parents' house will naturally be my wife and I's joint property. So I agreed to all the conditions my aunt has put forward. I just hope the wedding can be held a little sooner. Anyway, my belly is getting big. If I wait too long, I won't even be able to wear a wedding dress. Tran Vai's eyes lit up when he heard this. My parents also smiled awkwardly and nodded. Well, as long as my daughter gets married, I'll accept any conditions. Tran Vai was overjoyed and immediately grabbed my hand. Tinu, really, I knew you were a good girl. Then he shamelessly turned to my parents and said, Uncle and Aunt, don't worry. After we get married, I will definitely treat Sharu well. I will be a caring husband and will treat you two as my parents. That Tranvai is truly a master liar. His mouth is smooth but his face does not change color. My whole family struggled to finish the meal, swallowing each bite with difficulty. As the meal was almost over, I suddenly made a suggestion. I turned to look at Lai Thursday Hoa, my face slightly embarrassed. Uncle, Aunt, I have a little thought about the wedding. Since your belly is about to show, we should really hold the wedding early. As for the dowry, my family will take care of it, and there's no problem with the house. It's just that all of our savings are in the bank, and if we withdraw them early, we'll lose a lot of interest. So I thought, how about, can my aunt stand up and withdraw the money for the wedding party? We don't need to do anything fancy. Just a dozen tables, 10 leaders and colleagues of mine and Tranvai, plus a few close people is enough. Because my family previously agreed to all the unreasonable conditions that Lai Thursday Hoa put forth, this time, even if my father is stingy, it will be difficult to refuse. Tranvai, for the sake of appearances, immediately patted his chest and promised. Okay, then do as you wish, my family will take care of the wedding expenses. Tunu, don't worry, for you I am willing to do anything. Hearing Chun Wei's sweet words, I wanted to vomit on the spot. Everything was ready, the meal was over. When I got home, as soon as I stepped through the door, Zhang Susu excitedly showed off. Xiao, it worked. The entire conversation was recorded. I'll send it to you in a bit. The video is super clear, and the sound captures every word. That scumbag Tranvai, his whole family is a bunch of scum. When the wedding day comes, we will give them a shock. That's right, before the meeting, my whole family intentionally arrived at the restaurant early to install the mini camera produced by Truong Soso's planting company. The camera is smaller than a pinhead, records full HD 360 degrees, and has excellent sound recording. With that video in hand, I will definitely teach Tranvai's family a lesson they will never forget. A few days later, Tranvai informed me that he had booked the hotel for the wedding. His mother even went to check the date and said that the best day to register the marriage would be in 3 months. But there is no need to be taboo about holding a wedding party. Just choose a good day within half a month. On our side, we also have the custom of holding the wedding party first and registering the marriage later. So, Tranvai and I agreed to hold the wedding at the end of the month. The hotel was booked, and I immediately sent Tranvai a guest list that I had prepared. The main purpose was to invite all employees in the bank, from leaders to colleagues, to be present. As for Tranvai's relatives, roughly speaking, they only took up about 7 to 8 tables. As for my family, we had planned it according to my future mother-in-law's wishes, so we didn't invite anyone at all. In the blink of an eye, the wedding day arrived. Zhang Sua had her husband bring a group of bodyguards, pretending to be relatives of the bride's family. Early in the morning, Chun Wei drove the wedding car to pick up the bride. I wore a simple pure white wedding dress to send off my dead love. A noisy and bustling crowd of people flocked to the wedding venue. The hotel was not luxurious, just a commonplace in the city. However, because many colleagues and leaders in the banking industry were invited, the ceremony space was also relatively well decorated. Right in the middle of the stage was a large LED screen. When the wedding ceremony officially began, I held the microphone, looked at Chun Wei deeply, and slowly said, "Dear Chun Wei, we have been together for 2 years. Today is our big day, so I have a special gift for you," I said as I discreetly signaled to Zhang Susu. She immediately plugged the prepared USB into the projection system, and the LED screen started playing the video in front of all the guests. The content of the broadcast was the recording of the meeting between the two families to discuss the wedding the day before, when Lai Thursday Hoa's sour face appeared on the screen. Especially when she said those calculating words. My son Vai is the first university student in the village. He is Fuang Hong. If you want to marry into the Tran family, you have to bring 2 houses, one in Tranvai's name and the other in his younger brother's name. 30,000 as a gift. Are you planning to sell your daughter? The dowry must be at least 500,000. Otherwise, don't even dream of stepping foot in my house. As soon as these golden words were delivered, the entire auditorium exploded with anger and indignation. Especially the bank leaders, everyone's faces were as black as rock bottom. Most of my colleagues and superiors were women, some of whom already had daughters. Seeing the true face of Tranvai's family, everyone was talking excitedly. Heavens, Tranvai was really shameless. Just graduated from university and already a phoenix. There is a paper phoenix. Are you trying to rob someone else's property? That's too much greed. Tranvi saw that the situation was not good, immediately panicked, rushed in front of me and raised defense. Fong Nu, what are you doing? Do you want to destroy me? I smiled faintly. Oh honey, this gift isn't over yet. Saying that, I took out a recording pen from my skirt pocket. In it, the recording of the first day of Tet when I went to the Tran family's house was the conversation between Tran Vai and his mother in the vegetable garden behind the house. From the story of punching holes in condoms, the plan to steal 5 million of my family's savings, to the plan to act for 3 months to wait for the pregnancy to stabilize and then turn around. Every sentence, every word of the Tran mother and son rang out clearly, sharply, echoing throughout the auditorium thanks to the 360-degree surround sound system. At this time, even the Tran family's relatives turned their backs on his family. Uncle Hai Tran Vai said, that Lai Thursday Hoa was truly immoral. Giving people lucky money on the first day of Tet and stuffing them with hell money was not cursing them. That's right, she's already very cunning. She sneaks into my shop all day long to steal vegetables. A person like that still dreams of marrying a city girl. Dream on. In just a moment, the Tran family's reputation and prestige were trampled to the ground. Lai Thursday Hoa was furious and rushed straight onto the stage. She pointed straight at my face and slapped me. Fong Nu, you slut, you dare to play dirty with my family? My family's reputation was ruined by you. Do you think you're so cool? A girl like you is already pregnant with my child. Who else besides Tran Vai would want to marry you? At that moment, Truong So happily walked onto the stage holding a health certificate. She stood next to me, covered her mouth with her hand and sneered. Auntie old lady, your son is the type that clings to his mother's skirt like me. I think he has the ability to get anyone pregnant. I think he is a breeding pig. How could a little girl like me get pregnant? She just has gastritis. That pregnancy test is mine. Truong So confidently patted her protruding belly, then winked at me. I also took the health test result, coldly threw it straight at Tran Vai. 2 years of love turned out to be just a malicious joke. Even though today I had made the Tran family lose all face, I still could not let go of this hatred. I coldly said to Tran Vai, Tran Vai, from today on there is absolutely nothing between you and me. I was blind before. From now on we will go our separate ways. Are you still dreaming about stealing my family's property? Daydreaming. Having said that, I took off the wedding veil on my head and the hem of my wedding dress. Love is like an apple. If it's rotten from the inside, it's best to throw it away as soon as possible. Keeping it will only harm you. The Tran family, from Lai Thursday Hoa, Tran Vai to his father and younger brother, all rushed forward to make a scene. But fortunately, the 1m85 tall bodyguards that the husband of the chapter so sent quickly stood in a line to block the way. Instead, the entire Tran family was immediately scared pale, not daring to say another word. A wedding drama ended in chaos but full of satisfaction. After that day, Tran Vai's reputation was considered ruined. Only a few days later it was time to go back to work. Tran Vai had just returned to work not long ago when he kept making mistakes and was constantly being complained about by customers. Finally, his boss called him out and criticized him directly. And then it was unknown which relative in the Tran family accidentally released the wedding clip online. As a result, Tran Vai was disciplined for seriously affecting the image of the agency and was fired immediately. Even after being fired, the Tran family still did not feel ashamed. Lai Thursday Hoa brought her 2 sons to my house, blocked my parents' way, and demanded payment. They even made a big deal out of it, going to the police station to file a complaint. The most ridiculous thing was the list of money she demanded. During their 2 years together, Tran Vai recorded every expense like a small business owner. Hot pot cost 86 yuan. He made me split it in half, 43 yuan. Going to the movies cost 53 yuan. He made me pay 26.5 yuan. Even for my birthday, he bought me a lipstick for 12 yuan online. He carefully wrote it down in his debt notebook. When it was time to go to the police station, Lai Thursday Hoa sat on the ground crying loudly. Police officers, you have to make that girl pay me. She came to my house to eat and ate 3 pieces of cucumber in the salad. That fresh cucumber is at least 2 yuan a piece. He also ate half a bowl of white rice, at least 1 yuan. Last New Year, my son even bought him a pair of red socks. And then the wedding party, I lost more than 8,000 yuan. Li Qiuhua's ridiculously detailed story made the police officers have to hold back their laughter. In the end, they had to sternly warn me that if I ever came to your house to fake a wedding again, I would be immediately sent to detention. The bitter feud between me and Tran Vai ended here. After the breakup, I quickly devoted all my attention to work. About half a year later, I happened to hear my colleagues mention some of the latest news about Tran Vai. After being fired from his company, Tran Vai was still arrogant and refused to do any hard work. No big companies dared to hire him because of his bad record. So until now, Tran Vai is still unemployed, only knowing how to depend on his parents in the countryside. After breaking up with me, his reputation completely collapsed. Our wedding video went viral on social media. Everyone knew that Chun Wei was a dragon phoenix who specialized in living off the bride's family. In the 10 villages and 8 communes around the area, women would avoid him as soon as they heard his name. Even women who had been divorced twice and had 3 children of their own would not even look at Tran Vai. Later, because he could not find a job and had no one to marry, Tran Vai, not knowing who to listen to, decided to go abroad to make a fortune. So he took his younger brother with him, and the 2 brothers went to the northern part of the country of Ma to find a chance to change their lives. Since then, there has been no news of either of them. After losing both of his sons overnight, Lai Thursday Hoa sat in front of the house every day, talking non-stop to anyone who passed by. My son is very good. My eldest son is the first university student in the village. He went to Malaysia to earn money. None of the women in this village are worthy of my son. His ex-girlfriend is a girl from the city of Han Hoi. Do you know Malaysia? My 2 children are working in the telecommunications industry there. They would definitely make a fortune and send me abroad to enjoy life. And a few more months passed. Finally, there was news about the Tran brothers. But none of Mrs. Lai Thursday Hoa's dreams came true. Not only did her 2 sons not earn any money in Malaysia, they also lost a kidney. Chinese police, in cooperation with neighboring countries, broke up a series of transnational fraud rings, bringing back hundreds of suspects. Among them, there was Chun Wei and his younger brother. Both of them lost a kidney when they returned and were sentenced to 5 years in prison for participating in a telecommunications fraud ring. The day Tran Vai was sent to serve his sentence, I happened to be attending an old class reunion. While we were chatting, a familiar voice suddenly rang out next to me. Fuang Nu, long time no see. I'm back. I turned around and saw that my first love that year. The story ended there. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Don't forget to like and subscribe to hear more interesting stories. Goodbye and see you again.